In Spirit Lake is indicted on charges out of Louisiana. Choi Van Leo, owner of the Asian Palace restaurant in Spirit Lake, was wanted by authorities in Louisiana. He has since been transported to the Bayou State from Dickinson County Jail. Now, Louisiana authorities informed Spirit Lake police that Leo was indicted on 2 counts of aggravated rape and 4 counts of molestation of a juvenile. The charges date back to 1995. Anyone who may have additional information on the case is asked to contact Spirit Lake Police.